Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossibly. Red zone, this my highlight, my property. Do a quarterback sneakers on 4th and 3. Get the ends on the offensive block for me. I stiff him, I'm down, get off of me. I'm trucking them over, he under me. Back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, No new friends, Football fans, they sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here and Charles Davis.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They're hot as can be, winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point, but boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Rodgers now on first down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot the last couple of games.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
It's hard to be frustrated when you throw for nearly 400 yards, but I know he wanted to break that barrier. I think he got the pain eased a little bit when they named him NFC Offensive Player of the Week, though.
Yeah, when you get the award, you know you had the best week in the conference, you'll let it slide, but hey, that number well within his range. You know he's got the arm to do it in this one. A first down throw for Winston. And a hook up here to Allen Robinson. The numbers in last week's bowl game for Robinson. He was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great, and he had a great game last week.
There's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carter. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now a first down carry by Jones. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Ronald Jones, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Packers get set to go. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. Nifty move. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
319!
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week. I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
No gain on the play there, second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding him to no gain.
Now Jones. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 33 and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe it.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
From the red zone now, Winston. And oh, it'll be intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On second down, here's Rodgers. Buying time to his left. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He had gained really good yardage. That's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. In for the score. And the Bears will extend their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. It hasn't been his day. It hasn't been their day to this point, but some kudos to this crowd. This is not an easy environment to play in.
And they have to be really excited because they feel like they're having an impact on the game. The visiting quarterback not playing very well. Their team not doing well. They're helping their home team. You got to find a way to hurt that crowd. And the only way to do that, make good plays and try and calm them down.
I'm sure he's thinking it starts right here on this drive. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Second down, Winston. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there that sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. It's complete to Robinson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A give to Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears will add on to their lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening, and that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Rodgers. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here following this short break. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Throwing is Rodgers toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Following the interception, Winston eluding the pressure right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
First down, Winston. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Bears will extend their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And his throw here is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A good return there, 17 yards, and the Bears take over. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than a ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1
every single time. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Jameis to throw it. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll pitch it out to Jones. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
And they try to sweep to Jones. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half.
And he's into the clear. Touchdown, Chicago. Ronald Jones, 77 yards. And the Bears add on. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Elliott now to kick this one away. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
This is fielded at the 7. Oh, a nice spin. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears continue to pour it on. Well, a lot of things have to go right for an option pitch to be successful. Everything lined up there on the long run.
It does, because you have to make the proper read. Doesn't matter what guy you've decided is going to be read on the defensive front. You still have to execute it. If he comes to the quarterback, you saw there, pitch it out to the running back, and off he goes. A lot of teams don't like to run the option because they don't like having their quarterback hit.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it, and no one got it. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now Rodgers. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
They go play action here on first down. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch that he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. The give is to Jones. Oh, eluding the tackle. 20. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big run there by Jones. 41 yards. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
Here's Winston. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jameis Winston with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Bears capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Are you sure?
Well, a lot of the runners kind of know. But I'll guarantee you, someone has sent word into the offensive line that he's got a chance to get over 200 on this drive. That should give them a little extra motivation because they love it when backs break that barrier.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can do it. Again, it's Jones. He finds an opening past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On second down, Davis. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On third down, here's Jones. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll run for it with Marshall. And he's got this down to the 35. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the first down.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 15. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
319.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Now they go screen, it's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. This is taken at the 23. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
A gain of 39 that time. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Third and short yardage, Winston. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. In for the score. And the Bears add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off for this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he's got his man on the out route. That throw good for 4. It's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. The tackler almost means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Powell on the catch. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
319.
Rodgers now on first down. And the slant pattern here complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. A gain of 3, second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
He's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Winston. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. To throw is Winston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other.
And, oh, that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Easy.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bears will get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They're looking to throw this. Winston. Throw right side complete to Carter. 23 yards on the play.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out,
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A gain of 39 that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. if things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jameis again. Rolling to his right. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Chicago, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with a New England.